ओम ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
मूर्तिभेद विभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं।
पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्।
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्।
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः।
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः।
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः।
वेदैसागरपरमोपनिषदे गायन्ति सामगाः
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः
ध्यानावस्थितगतेन मनसा
पश्यन्ति योगिनः
यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
देवाय तस्मै नमः।
नमः।
Third chapter we are entering, but before saying third chapter, we start third chapter. Let's say something. In second chapter, we have seen something. Suppose it starts from Bhagavan's teaching. Panditaha nanushochati ashochyana. The meaning is, here Pandita, we have seen the meaning of Pandita means Atmajnani. They never grieve. Nanu anushochintaha. We have seen another verse. Second chapter we have seen. Asmin dehe. In this body, dehinaha, kaumaram, yauvanam, jara. Different type of state they are going. Same way, dehantara praptihi. They also and change their body. Dhiraha tatra namhiyati. The meaning of dhiraha we have seen. Second chapter. 1 minute. Meaning of dhiraha means one who has self-knowledge. That person, tatra na muhyati, they never deluded. Again, Bhagavan has taught Arjuna, avyaktaha, ayam achintyaha, ayam avikaryaha uchyate. Means this self, this atma, avyaktaha. It is never can be seen by our five sense organ. Achintyaha cannot be think by our mind. Avikaryaha, it never undergoes any type of change. Tasmadevam viditva. Having known this Atma, nanu shochitum arhasi. There is no chance to grieve. Again, Bhagavan has said in second chapter, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mrutasya cha. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu. One who is born, for that person, mrityuhu dhruvaha. For that person, death is definite. Mrutasya janma dhruvam. One who is gone, for that person, again birth is definite. Tasmad apariharyethe natvam shochitum arhasi. Having seen this, you should not grieve. Natvam shochitum arhasi. Same in second chapter, Bhagavan has says, Dehi nityam avatyaha, Dehe sarvasya bharata, tasmat sarvani bhutani, natvam shochitum arhasi. Dehi means consciousness. In this body, nityam avatyaha. He always, nobody can kill it. Avatyaha. And that's why sarvani bhutani. At the same time, all beings also na avadyaha. They cannot be killed. Natvam shochitum arhasi. The meaning is, when you get knowledge, you need not to grieve. In short, Bhagavan has also taught Arjuna in second chapter, one who has self-knowledge, that person doesn't have sorrow. One who has self-knowledge, that person doesn't have any type of conflict. After teaching everything, then Bhagavan has switched over to Karma Yoga, and second chapter Bhagavan again said, Swadharmamapi chaveksha na vikampitu arhasi dharmat hi yuddhat shreyonyata kshatriyasya na vidyate. The meaning is, having seen your own duty, na vikampitu, you should not tremble, because for Kshatriya, there is a no better war, there is a no better good compared to Dharma Yuddha. So being Kshatriya, this war is very good. After teaching all self-knowledge, Bhagavan has started something new. And again Bhagavan has taught in 37th verse, if you are killed, you will get heaven, Swarga. If you are won the war, then Bhakshase Mahim, you will enjoy whole earth, Mother Earth, Tasmad Uttishta Kaunteya. So then you get up and Yuddhaya Kruta Nishchaya. Now be ready for the fight. Be ready for the war. Yuddhaya Kruta Nishchaya. 38th verse. Sukha dukhe same krutva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papam avapsesi. Again Bhagavan has said, having balance same krutva, what? Pain or sorrow, happiness, pleasure and pain, labha alabho, means you may have sometime some labha, so you may gain, sometime you lost, sometime you win, sometime you defeat, but yuddhaya same krutva, having kept everything balanced, yuddhaya yujyasva. Again Bhagavan says, you please join the war, you just engage in yuddha, papam na vapsisi. You never incur any type of papa. And same, this famous karmani eva adhikarate. Your choice is only in karma, ma phaleshu kadachana. Means Bhagavan here in 47th verse also, Bhagavan teaches Arjuna, you have to do karma. And whole karma's philosophy Bhagavan has taught in 47th verse, and again in 50th verse. Tasmad yogaya yujyasva. Again, yujyasva means you have to fight. Yujyasva is a lot, imperative mood. Bhagavan says, you have to fight. Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. So in the beginning of Gita's 2nd chapter, whole self-knowledge, jnana, what is the nature of Atma, then again Bhagavan has taught what is karma yoga, and in the end of 2nd chapter, Esha Brahmi Sthiti Pasa, whole Sthita Prajna. So again self-knowledge Bhagavan has taught, and what is the characteristic traits of Sthita Prajna. And last Bhagavan says, Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha Einam Prapya Na Vimuhyati. If person has got this state, this jnanam at the end of our life, then also one gets Brahma Nirvana, one gets moksha. In Bhagavan's mind, everything is clear. Okay, one had to do first karma yoga. After karma yoga, only if mind is purified, is clear, then person is eligible for Jnana yoga. But Arjuna's mind, it seems confused. He says, sometimes Bhagavan says, the consciousness to know our real nature is more better. Atma Jnanam is more better to do karma. So which one is better, to know who we are or to do karma? With this confusion, chapter 3 is beginning. Even though Bhagavan doesn't have any confusion, Bhagavan taught very well, but in Arjuna's mind, so what I have written, in 2nd chapter, in the beginning and at the end also, self-knowledge is praised. So Atma Jnanam is the best remedy to come out for the liberation. Everything Bhagavan has taught. And again, it is, he says, if person is ajnanam, means if person is ignorant, this ajnanam can give conflict. Ajnanam can give confusion to choose what is right, which is wrong. So everything is because of only Agnana. So that Arjuna knows, okay, if Agnanam is there, then all conflict, all confusion. And if we have Gnanam, then no delusion, no confusion, no conflict. So which one is better? Jnanam is better or karma is better? And Krishna glorified Gnanam from 11 to 25th verse of 2nd chapter. Again, Bhagavan has glorified self-knowledge from 54th verse up to 72, end of the 2nd chapter. And in between, middle of the 2nd chapter, from 39 to 53, all karma yoga. So normal person may have confusion. And Arjuna, he would like to gather, he would like to know Atma Jnanam. And reason is not he is interested in self-knowledge, but interested is because he knows to learn Jnanam, he need not to fight. Because Jnanam always available in Gurukulam. Now at that time, no Zoom classes, no. So a person has to go to Gurukulam only. And to learn self-knowledge, person has to give up karma. Second, third, and here karma for Arjuna is to fight war. And he doesn't want to fight because with Bhishma and Drona. So these all are very conducive to get self-knowledge for Arjuna. That's why he starts thinking, I should take knowledge, not I should do any karma. And this confusion up to 18th chapter is continued. In different type, he always keep on asking, karma is better or gnana is better? And he always asks, which one is superior? Karma is superior and gnana is superior. And really speaking, there is no choice. Even we have seen, Arjuna, Krishna doesn't have any type of confusion because Bhagavan knows that karma can give. Yeah. It says the benefit of karma. If we do karma, then what are the benefits? It says proper karma yoga prepare our mind for grasping a knowledge. If we do karma yoga properly, then our mind is ready to receive, to grasp karma means knowledge. If we do karma yoga properly, then our mind has less raga dvesha, means likes and dislikes. And because of less raga dvesha, our mind will be more calm and balanced. And Bhagavan is very clear in the 2nd chapter, if you remember, Bhagavan says, Yada te moha kalilam buddhi vyatitarishyati tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. But I have mentioned only what is relevant to here. So Bhagavan says, Yada te moha kalilam. The moha kalilam means raga dvesha, which is sitting in our mind. Vyatitarishyati, when our mind, when our intellect will cross over. This all moha kalilam means impurity of our mind. Then only tada nirvedam gantasi. Nirvedam means the dissipation. Vairagyam gantasi, you will get vairagyam. But when condition is moha kalilam vyatitarishyati, when our impurity will go, and impurity never go by listening gnanam. So for purity, we have to do karma only. But that Arjuna doesn't know. That's why he's confused. That's why I have written again, what is the benefit of karma yoga and gnana yoga? Once we have seen, but still, what is the benefits of karma yoga? Here I didn't write one is upasana yoga in between, but still here only the karma yoga benefits is chitta shuddhi. By doing karma yoga properly, here chitta means our mind, shuddhi means pure. And what is the meaning of chitta shuddhi? So very less raga dvesha. likes and dislikes are very less. And when in our mind there is a very less likes and dislikes, then only Gnana Yogyata Prapti will come. The meaning of Gnana Yogyata Prapti means we are eligible to gain self-knowledge. We cannot jump directly in self-knowledge. That's why less Ragadvesha make our mind ready to receive, to grasp self-knowledge. And without Karma Yoga, self-knowledge is next impossible. Without Karma Yoga, if person would like to get Atma Gnanam, then Atma Gnanam will be like a parrot. If you remember one story, when Shankaracharya ji went to Sureshwaracharya house, then one parrot, Satah Pramanam, Paratah Pramanam. They say, always Sureshwaracharya used to tell to his disciples, our Veda is Pramanam. One parrot was always listening. Satah Pramanam. They are himself as a means of knowledge. Then he starts talking. Satah Pramanam, Paratah Pramanam. Same way, this all without Karma Yoga, without purification of mind, all knowledge will be there, but it never gives a result. Means it never be helpful our day-to-day life. That's why self-knowledge is next impossible. So this is the benefits of Karma Yoga. And the benefits of Gnana Yoga is ignorance will go. All three things will go. Ignorance will go. Doubt regarding self, doubts regarding whole world, doubts regarding Ishvara. Who is Ishvara? Where is Ishvara? Everything will go. Means it's called Sanshaya, they will go. Viparita Bhavana. Totally opposite. We have impression regarding us. We are body, we are mind, all are totally opposite impression. That will also go because of Gnana Yoga, and then everything will go. It's called Gnana Nishtha Prapti. We are well established in self-knowledge, and if we are self-established in self-knowledge, in technical language, it says Sansara Nivritti. While living in Sansara only, it's never touch us. You know, last time I had told, what is that one word? Transcendental. Transcendental meditation. And it's a word, nowadays people are crazy to do transcendental meditation. But what is the meaning of transcendental? Pujya Swamiji told us, so what is the meaning of transcendental? He said once, Pujya Swami said one of his disciples was living in US near railway station, some railway station, and every half an hour train passes. So when even he goes to sleep, always the noise of, he has to listen. So he cannot go to sleep. Then after 1 week, he has decided, and he tells his own mind, if noise will come, if any type of voice will come, but you need not to disturb. You have to go to sleep in spite of all noises and voices. Then after 2 days, mind has no complaint with this railway stations or railways noise. And without effortlessly, that person goes to sleep. So it says the transcendental of voice. It's called transcendental of noise. In spite of having everything, a person can prepare one's mind. No, if it should not be disturbed, it's called transcendental. Even when I come to here Porbandar, I was in one apartment. An apartment is near big road, main road. So all type of vehicles noise. Here, then in the US, they never give horn. And here, without reason, they keep on horning. They have without reason, they can horn everything. So for 1 week, for myself also, it's very difficult to sleep. Because in Annaikatti, even we can hear a voice of one small Any jiva, we can hurt the voice. But here, so much noise. How can we go to sleep? Then after 1 week, same thing I applied to my mind. In spite of all noise, all horns, all type of shouting, you should not to disturb. You have to go to sleep. Even one in my apartment, one side is road and one side is railway station. So all time this whistles. But when mind is prepared, then mind doesn't have complaint. Why always train are whistling? Why this all type of horns? That is called transcendental. So same way, sansara nivrutti is not where we are running after from sansara. But in spite of living sansara, the problems of sansara never touches. It's called sansara nivrutti. And again, it's called moksha. But we cannot get such sansara nivrutti or moksha without karma yoga. Karma yoga prepares our mind. With less raga dvesha, and when mind is ready, then only this whole thing is possible. But poor Arjuna thinks this is better choice for me to take gnanam. That's why the first verse starts from Arjuna with that same question. So this is the karma yoga and gnana yoga. In between one upasana yoga we have learned. So I didn't write here, but still we cannot jump from karma yoga to gnana yoga. In between also come upasana. Means all japam. Without japa, without meditation, person cannot have self-knowledge. And in all three, let me tell one thing also. Common thing in all three things is called devotion, bhakti. We are doing karma yoga because of love towards Ishvara. We are doing upasana because we love Ishvara. Even we are interested in Vedanta because we love Ishvara. So without bhakti, without devotion, all three never can give fruits. They can never give result. Otherwise, without bhakti, upasana can give arrogance. There are many upasaka I have seen. They are doing all type of japa. They have siddhi, but they become arrogant. Without devotion, if person are doing karma, but they cannot have chitta shuddhi. And without karma yoga and upasana, if one pursued only gnana yoga, Vedanta, we know how the people behave. So all things are compulsory in everybody's life. So karma yoga is first, upasana is next, and last is gnana yoga. But Arjuna would like to jump direct only gnana yoga, because he doesn't want to fight. And why he doesn't want to fight? Only two reasons, Bhishma and Drona, even Krupa. Because this gurus, he doesn't want to fight. Having kept, now Arjuna has started one first verse. Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna uvacha jyayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi keshava. Arjuna uvacha, and Arjuna spoke. Here he has two sambodhana, two vocative, Janardana and Keshava. He Janardana, he Keshava, te mata. According to your teaching, here te means tava. Sixth case, what we have seen in our grammar class, te means tava. Te mata, buddhihi karmanaha jayasi chet. Here buddhi is not intellect, but here buddhi means atma jnana. So Arjuna said, according to your teaching, if atma jnanam, jayase means better. We will learn in our grammar class comparative degree. So jayasi is better to what? Karmanaha. If Atmagnanam is better to karma, then why? He says, Tat kim, then why? Ghore karmani. This terrible job, terrible action, mam niyojayasi. You are impelling me. Why in this terrible, gruesome act? This is, even we can't think why you are impelling me. This is asked by Arjuna. Let's see first. Anvayaha, Janardana, Keshava. Two vocative. Bhagwan's adjectives. Te mata, according to you, buddhihi karmanaha jayasi. If Atma Jnanam is better than karma, tat kim, then why? Ghore karmani mam niyojayasi. Then why you are impelling me? So first, he has used for Ishvara, Janardana. The meaning of Janardana means Ardhanam. There is a one Kriyapad verb in Sanskritam. Ardhanam means to kill. Why Bhagwan has called Janardana? Dushtan Janan Ardayati. One who has killed a dushta, wicked people. That's why Bhagwan's name is Janardana. And another, he is, says to Krishna, Hey Keshav. The meaning of Keshav is Keshi, one demon's name. Rakshas's, Asura's name was Keshi. Bhagwan killed him. That's why his name was Keshava. In Vishnu Sahasranama, there are two Keshavas he has used. Then another name of Keshava is given, one who has very beautiful hair. Because Bhagwan Krishna has very beautiful hair. Kesha means hair. Va means one who is beautiful. So one who has beautiful hair is also Keshava, Janardana. Then he says, Te mata. Te mata means according to te means your. According to your teaching, your contention. What? Buddhihi. So people may ask why you have translated buddhi as a self-knowledge. Why not intellect? So there are three types of vyutpatti, etymology of buddhi. It says buddh is a verb, but we can use buddhi as an object of knowledge. We can use buddhi as an instrument of knowledge, and we can use buddhi as a knowledge itself. So three options. Which buddhi we can take is, here not we can use as an object of buddhi, of knowledge. We cannot use as an instrument of knowledge because Bhagavan has already told in second Sankhya Yoga. So here the meaning of buddhi is knowledge itself. Shankaracharya has written in Bhashyam, knowledge itself, which is called Atmagyan. So what Bhagavan has taught from 11th verse up to 25th verse, na jayate, na mriyate, all are called buddhi here. Na pandita nanu shochanti starts from 11th verse up to avyaktoyam achintyoyam. All are called Atmagnanam. And here Arjuna is used for this verse is buddhi. And Arjuna says, if jayasi is better, superior, more comparatively more good, jayasi better than what? Then it says karmanaha. It is fifth case. Karmana is then karma. If Atmagnana is better than karma, then kim, then tat means then, kim niyojasi. Kim means kasmat karanan. For which reason? Ghore karmani mam niyojayasi. Ghore. Karmani, adjective is ghora. There is, one word we are using in our all Gurukulam, agore, ebhyo, thagore, ebhyo, ghore. In generally people thinks the ghora meaning is agora, there we say agori. there are many sadhus. One sadhu is called Aghori, and we always think they are very terrible. He is frightened. We always think like that, but it is totally opposite. Because Ghora, because here Ghora comes, that's why I just, the meaning of Ghora is terrible. Ghora karmani, terrible, gruesome. What is the opposite of Ghora? Aghora. What is the opposite of Gnanam? Agyanam. What is the opposite of Vidya? Avidya. They same way, what is the opposite of Ghora? So it's called Aghora. So one, for Shankara also, we think they is living in cremation ground. His looks very Ghora. But really speaking, the form of Shiva is always Aghorebhyo. Aghorebhyo, Thagorebhyo, Ghora, Ghora. So whenever Aghori comes, one, it says Aghori is 100% more compassionate than any sadhus. It's called Aghori. He always cared for small creatures also. He never killed any creatures. It's called Aghori. Here, it is totally opposite, is Ghora. Arjuna says to Krishna, Ghore Karmani. Ghore Karmani, in this gruesome, terrible, bloody action, why Niyojayasi? Why you are impaling me? In such karma, why you impale me? So, he doesn't like to fight. And one thing we may say, he doesn't know, or he is not capable to know what Bhagavan has taught in second chapter. That's why he is asking such question, why you are say you have to fight. And from where he has taken decision, that's why I have show you all different type of verses in second chapter. From this all verses, he has taken decision that this Atma Gnana is better than karma. And if karma is not good, then why should we do karma? It is better to learn only Atma Gnana. That's why he's asking. And he again asking that I have not written, but let's see here. He says, 150, let me do. Vyamishrenaiv vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tadekam vada nishchitya yena shreyoham apnuyam. Arjuna says, Vyamishrena eva. Vyamishrena means mixture. And mixture, what I have shown you, the mixture is in the beginning of second chapter, Gnana Yoga, middle of the second chapter, all Karma Yoga, at the end of second chapter, again Sthita Prajna means Gnana Yoga. It's called mixture of Vakya. Vyamishreneva Vakyena. With different type of sentences, it seems Buddhim me buddhihi. Again, me buddhihi means my buddhi. This me means mama. Mohayasi, like mohayasi, but the main clue word is eva. Here is eva is one word is sitting here. The meaning of eva is like, as though. So Arjuna was 100% student of Krishna. He is disciple. So he said to Krishna, eva means like, as though you are, it seems to me, my buddhi, you are deluding. You are confusing. The mohayasi means you make confuse me. But this is my thinking. Eva means as though. It is according to my thinking, you confuse me. Me mohayasi eva. Eva means you are 100% sure Krishna, but in my thinking, I thought you are confusing me. And why Bhagavan is confusing me? So Vyamishreneva Vakyena. And which are the sentences? which I have shown in second chapter. All the groups, many groups. Sometime Yudhyasva, sometime you should know. Nanu shochantum arhasi. Again Yudhyasva, again Nanu shochanti. So what should I do? I should not grieve or I should do karma. That's why it's called Vyamishrena Vakyena Me Buddhihi Mohayasi Eva. As though you are confusing me. And then he says, Tad Ekam Vada. This is called the typical disciple, typical student. What is the what is the definition of typical student? They used to go to teacher and they ask teacher, you tell me what should I do. Sometimes student can go, you tell me, should I do marry or I should not marry? Pujya Swami says, why should I say you should marry? It's your thinking. You have to decide. Even sometimes, people come to us, they say, which type of anusthana should I take? Then we say, okay, in this Navratri, you should do this. And if we say you have to do this, and sometime by mistake they have not done, then they come to us, because you have given me, that's why I have to do, otherwise I can do more better. So always they come to teacher, they ask what to do, and they never do. And if we say, so what is the sign of best teacher or best guru? They never say you have to do. Guru never say, like Krishna says, no, at last, Yatha Ichhasi Tatha Kuru. I have told everything, but he never emphasizes. They never force Arjuna, now you don't fight, you fight. He never says. Because everybody's student's mind, what's going on, teacher doesn't know. Krishna is one thing, but most of teachers, how can they know what is going in their mind? And if they say you have to do, so everything will come on teacher only. That's why here he says, if Bhagavan says, now you have to take only self-knowledge, then he will go. And if Bhagavan says, you have to do only karma, then he says, always I love gnana, then why you are impelling to do karma? So anyway, always Shishya or a disciple would like to catch Guru, Acharya in different time. But he says, Tadekam vada nishchitya. You confirmed in your mind, and ekam vada, you tell one thing. Vada means you tell. Ekam means only one. Which one? Karma yoga I should choose, or I should choose Gnana yoga. That either you give one choice, then I will follow. Nishchitya yena. By choosing this, aham shreyaha apnuyam. By choosing this, by pursue this, I will get moksha. Here the meaning of shreyaha means moksha. I will get moksha. But poor Arjuna doesn't know, okay, by simply getting gnana, self-knowledge, he cannot get moksha, not shreyaha. But in his thinking, he thinks, let Krishna says me, you just do, pursue only Atmagnana. So he will go over. So Shreyaha Apnuyam. Ya Mishrena eva Vakyana. And now the well-famous verse. It says, this verse, Bhagavan has started teaching, well-famous verse. Still, Bhagavan never tell Arjuna which one is even better also. Because each and every sadhana, even karma yoga sadhana, whatever sadhana, this is each and every sadhana are good only. We can't say this is good, not good, this is bad. Each and every sadhana has different result, and if these different results are there, then we have to follow each and every sadhana. But Arjuna's mind, he says, you tell me different. So tadekam vada nishchitya yenaha shreyo mam apnuya. And now Bhagavan has started teaching. श्रीभगवानुवाच लोकेऽस्मिन् द्विविधा निष्ठा पुरा प्रोक्ता मया नघ ज्ञानयोगेन साङ्ख्यानां कर्मयोगेन योगिनाम्. This is very technical verse, and this is also, for me it is very important, because this verse I have taught to Pujya Swamiji. Because at the end of the course, we have to tell something in front of all Swamijis. All are sitting in front of us. Then Pujya Swamiji came and he asked me, you tell me about what is the meaning of third chapter, third verse. So that's why I taught Pujya Swamiji this. That's why this is very near to me. But Bhagavan says, here one nishtha word is coming. Here the meaning of nishtha, it is not that what I have taught in previous classes. At that time, I have told the meaning of nishtha means nitaram sthiti. One who's firm established, sthita prajna is called nishtha. But here the meaning of nishtha means lifestyle. Bhagavan says, Asmin loke, in this word. Asmin means in this, loke means in this word, Dvividha nishtha. Two types of lifestyle. Maya prokta. Maya means by me. Prokta is told. If Arjuna asks where, when, it says pura. Very in early days, when whole earth, your universe comes. So, Dvividha nishtha, and which type of the lifestyle? Let me tell and then we'll go. But there are two major lifestyles. One is called sannyasa. Sannyasaha, and another is called gruhastha. Actually, so we say 4 ashram. Brahmacharya ashram, gruhastha ashram, vanaprastha ashram, and sannyasa ashram. But among 4, vanaprastha also come under gruhastha. Sannyasa, a brahmachari has to decide where should I go, whether I have to go in gruhastha ashrama or sannyasa. But this is a lifestyle, are two type of lifestyle. One is sannyasa lifestyle, another is gruhastha lifestyle. So, what are the plus point of gruhastha ashrama? So, the first plus point of gruhastha ashrama is they have always family. In family, there are many members are available who can help at any time. In family member, one person is sick, so other family members are always ready to serve them. So in family, they are always in sannyasa, no family. No family. In gruhastha ashrama is they not plus point, but it says many responsibilities. In gruhastha, many responsibility. Nowadays, Navratri is going on. I have too much, so I am not ready to prepare some class. Tomorrow I will prepare. Many responsibility, while in sannyasa, there is no responsibility. Because in family, as a father, we are responsible, as a mother, husband, wife, many responsibility. But sannyasa, no relationship, no responsibility. So he is free from responsibility. So free from responsibility. But which one is safe? According to Krishna, safe is Grihastha. Because people are always there. And if mind is not ready, then sannyasa is always like a curse. In 5th chapter, dukkham aptum ayogataha sannyasah. So it is not safe for all people. So Grihastha life, so Dvividha Nishta, even Shankaracharya says, Grihastha is called Pravrutti Marga. In Shankar Bhashyam he says, Pravrutti, so highly active. Tomorrow I will prepare more. And this is called Nivritti. But either people take sannyasa or either people are in grihastha. Each and every sannyasa and grihastha, they have to follow karma yoga, they have to follow upasana yoga, and they have to follow gnana yoga. Become sannyasi, now there is no work. It is not like that. Being sannyasa also, there is so much work they have to do. But nowadays, sannyasi thinks, now I am sannyasi, there is no work. In previous time, if somebody says to ashram gurukula, then Acharya says, in Chandogya Upanishad it comes, even Virochan and Indra went to, I forget that guru's name, he says, teach me Brahma Vidya. Then that guru says, you do seva for 100 years. They do field farming for 100 days. Again they went to teacher, and a teacher again says, you do for another 100. 300 years they had to do only farming. So it's also being sannyasa in that Gurukula, they have to follow karma yoga. But nowadays people think, now being sannyasa, there is no work. Responsibility of family is not there, but being sannyasa, sannyasi has also follow karma yoga, upasana yoga, and gnana yoga. And being grihastha also, grihastha has to pass all three sadhana, karma yoga. Goal is same, moksha, but lifestyle is different. And which lifestyle? One lifestyle is sannyasa, one lifestyle is grihastha. That lifestyle, vividha nishtha, maya prokta pura, at the beginning. In Mundaka it comes. Even what in Dasha Shanti mantra, last verse, last mantra, yo brahmadam vidadati purvam, yo ve vedanscha prahinoti tasme. At that time, Bhagwan has given all Vedas teaching to Brahmaji. It's called Dvividha Nishtha. In which type of those lifestyle that Bhagwan says, Gnana Yogena Sankhyanam, Karma Yogena Yogina. True lifestyle, here yogi means karma means grihastha. And another, this Sankhya means sannyasi. So true lifestyle for a grihastha, karma yoga, and for sannyasi, gnana yoga. It was previous time. And during those time period, all people, they never take sannyasa on and off. Teacher always check student and then they give. But being sannyasi, they have to do all ashram's duty. They have to clean ashram. They have to cook. They have to do everything. It's called karma yoga, and they do different type of japa. It's called upasana yoga. But grihastha, they have to do again karma yoga responsibility. Being grihastha, they have to do in the morning some upasana yoga, and while you are doing right now what? Gnana yoga. So all three things are necessary in grihastha life also, at the same time sannyasa life also. So that's why Bhagwan says Dvividha Nishtha Pura Prokta. Why Bhagavan is saying to right now to Arjuna? Because he says, you are Gruhastha. In being Gruhastha, your main duty is Karma Yoga. Indirectly, Bhagavan told to Arjuna, being Gruhastha, first your duty is performed, is Karma Yoga. That's why, but this is why Bhagavan has chosen these three lifestyles. Lifestyle have choice, but for moksha, that upasana doesn't have choice. Arjuna wants choice in upasana, means all type of sadhana. Really speaking, in sadhana, no choice. In lifestyle, only choices. But which type of sadhana, which lifestyle, we will see tomorrow in detail. Because in front of you something is prepared, then it will be easy. But what today I said, tomorrow I will see you in box form. What is lifestyle? What are the disadvantages? What are the advantages? Because without Gruhastha life is such life, while Gruhastha only people are ready to become mature. Because always in Gruhastha life, we have to deal with many people. In Gruhastha life, not only husband, wife, there are many relatives we have to take care, and while taking care, unknowingly our Raga Dvesha will go. That's why Gruhastha is more safe, more good compared to Sannyasa. Because if Sannyasa people is not ready, then it's like a curse. Not for that person also, for society also. And Bhagavan will say in 5th chapter, but here only Bhagavan has explained Vividha Nishtha, 2 lifestyles. Any question? 1 minute, unmute. No questions, Lester?
Swamiji, in verse 3:2, the second verse, is it Vyamishre Neva or Vyamishre Naiva?
1 minute. Here, no?
Because you have Naiva, but this book, Puja Swamiji's book, it says Vyamishre Neva.
Vyamishrena, then Eva.
So it should be Nai, right?
Vyamishrena, because Ranaka, this is third case. But because of this Refa, now become Rana. Vyamishrena, Eva Vakya. Mishra. If word, if Mishra. And what is the third case of Mishra? Mishrena, no?
Mishrena.
Mishrena. Vya is only prefix. Vya Mishrena. And this is Eva. Buddhi moha yasiva mein.
So can it be Vyamishrena Iva? No.
Yeah, Eva, no, there is not Eva. Eva.
No,
here,
not Iva.
Eva is here only. Moha yasi, Eva.
Okay.
Here, Eva mein. Here, Eva.
Okay.
Indeed. The meaning of Eva means indeed. These confusing sentences. My buddhi is confused. But it seems like that. So it is not your, but it is my fault. The meaning of Eva here.
One simple question.
Yeah.
Grammar.
Yeah,
This Gore Karmani. How's that Gore over there?
Ghore is 7 by 1.
Seventh case.
Seventh case. Karmani
Is also
Karmani is also 7.
7
the
by 1.
seventh case. What is the karma? Karmaha. What is it?
Pratipadik. This Goraha is Akaranta. Gora is Akaranta ending. And Karman actually is a Karman.
Karman. Karman. Okay.
It is Karman. Then declension is Karma, Karmani, Karmani. Is Karman.
Okay.
Yet we have not seen yet this Karman.
Okay.
But the seventh case of Karman is Karmani.
Okay.
And if this Gora is adjective of seventh case of Karmani, then we have
Then
to
it's-
treat this like a Rama. That's like
Yeah. Correct. Now this Karman word I didn't know. Never come across. Karman.
Any question regarding this?
Swamini, is it possible to say slowly these 3 verses and we can repeat line by line after?
You want to repeat?
It's helpful to hear and repeat it.
Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna
Arjuna
Uvacha
Uvacha
Yayasi Chet Karmanaste Mata Buddhir Janardana Tat Kim Karmani Ghore Mam Niyojayasi Keshava Vyamishreenaiva Vakyena Buddhim Mohayasiva Me Me Vyamishreenaiva Tadekam vada nishchitya Shreyoham Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Lokesmin dvividha nishtha Pura prokta maya nagha Jnana yogena sankhyanam Karma yogena yoginam Here also now this is your homework. Gnana yogena, karma yogena. Third case. Which, how can we translate? Which type of this is trutiya? It's not instrumental trutiya.
Instrumental, no? Hetu Tritiya.
No, that is fifth Hetu Tritiya is Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena
By Jnana Yoga, isn't it?
Sankhyanam Vaya Gnana Yoga. How you translate?
Okay.
Here called Itham Bhute Trutiya in the form of Gnana Yogena, Karma Yogena. Like something, you know, this person is blind. Janmena Andaha. It's nature. Janmena antah. It's called Itham Bhute Trutiya. Same way, Karma Yogena, Gnana Yogena is called Itham Bhute in the form of Sankhyanam. Sankhya is not speaking six, is a Shashti, Shesha Shashti. For Sankhya in the form of Gnana, and for Gruhastha in the form of Karma Yoga, Nishtha. Yoginam Nishtha Karma Yogena, Sankhyanam Nishtha Gnana Yogena. If we translate, tomorrow we will see grammar class also. Okay. Otherwise, everybody will bore. More people who are sick. Any question? Let's say Purnamada.
Purnasya Purnamadaaya Purnamevavashyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari
Guru Namaha.
Hari
Hari
Om.